Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
I was supposed to say that.
Hello.
All right, well, welcome to Ask an Engineer, and thanks, Cappy, for introducing me. We're broadcasting live from the Adafruit headquarters in West Soho. I'm Lady Ada, I'm the engineer. With me is Phil.
Hello.
We also have Cappy, the electrolytic capacitor, so it's a party here.
He'll be stopping by soon.
Maybe he'll come by and do the news. Okay, what's on tonight's show?
On tonight's show, the code is puppets. We will be talking about the show and tell. We'll have mailbag, projects around the web. We'll be talking about the Adafruit learning system. We've got Time Travel Tuesday, Wearable Wednesday, 3D Thursday, everybody's favorite day, Pi Day. We got new products. We got we got new product. We got It's Not Out Yet. We got trivia questions. Oops, we got your questions. We got a trivia question and a photo of a cat later. All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Hey, that's a nice little animation. Can we play that again?
What?
Can we play that again?
All on Ask an Engineer. Yeah. All right.
Nice little animation there.
Yeah.
Look at us moving up in the world.
Yeah, we're drinking name brand sodas now. Moving on up. Okay, so the code tonight is puppets. The reason the code is puppets is because we're going to be debuting some of the Circuit Playground puppets. This will be the only time the Circuit Playground puppets aren't animated and talking in their voices and everything. We're actually going to talk about some of the things we're doing and
before we breathe life into them.
Before we breathe life into them.
Yeah.
So.
We
right.
do have a bunch of cute puppets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the code. 10% off everything in stock.
Including any puppets you can find. We don't have any puppets, but we do have plushies.
We have the plushie versions of them.
Which you can make into puppets.
Okay. So let's start off right away with the show and tell.
Yeah. We had a jam-packed.
Yeah.
Can I say jam-packed? I mean, there wasn't any jam. It was more like hack-packed.
Do your thing.
It was project-packed. We had like a whole bunch of people. Okay, so first up, we had Ken, and he was actually reporting from PyCon. He went to PyCon, which is, I guess, an international Python convention on the West Coast. And he went, and we didn't go, so he gave us an awesome report. Eben was from the Raspberry Pi Foundation, was a keynoter, which is really cool. He showed some photos of that. He got his Raspberry Pi signed. He said that all the attendees of PyCon, 2,500 of them.
The Python Foundation gave 2,500 Python. 2,500. Yeah, Snake kind of conference.
Raspberry Pis.
2,500 Raspberry Pis.
To PyCon attendees, and Ken did also a little. He did a half-hour talk about the Adafruit Web ID. We also had a discount code for PyCon attendees, so all good stuff. Next up, we had Michael. He showed up again with his Wi-Fi RC card. This time, it was carring. The wheels were moving. So check in every week for an update. Last week was headlights, or 2 weeks ago. Kevin came in. He had no audio, but he did have a Minty Boost he made into a PVC pipe with 3 D-sized batteries. This is a mega Minty Boost. Will probably last him like 25 hours, something ridiculous like that, which is a cool Minty Boost. Mikhail showed up. He had a CNC bot that he had made, and it was CNCing some wood. It was like a shop bot type style CNC router for wood, and he was making a grill for an antique car he was restoring, and he made a cool arcade cabinet, which is great. Matthew showed up. Matthew did a really cool project where he took one of our red LED matrices. We have these 16 by 24 LED matrices that are really easy to use, and he put it in his backpack and covered it with some organza, and then had an Arduino, and it was like displaying messages, and so it's just a cool backpack. He did this over spring break. So I don't know, maybe he also went to the pool and like did a lot of drinking, but he also soldered an Arduino into his backpack. I don't know, apparently that's what people do on spring break. Okay, right. Martin showed up, and Martin had a really cool LED table matrix wall hanging thing. It looked like it had like maybe 10 by 20 pixels or something, maybe 8 by 20 pixels. And he took our digital LED strip and he cut it up and then like made this baffle thing.
Yeah.
And then he laser cut this baffle, and then he had a sound sensor so that when he made noise, it initiated a Conway Game of Life pattern, which then kind of diffused out. I think that's what it was had. Yeah. It wasn't completely clear what the pattern was, but it was really neat, and it was like full color, and it was kind of cool because he got like 5 meters of LED strip and then cut it up. Finally, Justin showed up, and he had some kind of neat LED strips that were reconfigurable and LED panels that were reconfigurable, and also some sort of open source heart, blood pressure cuff,
Yeah,
Raspberry Pi, Arduino thing.
Raspberry Pi and
Arduino
is cool.
blood pressure cuff thing, so that is cool. He has good blood pressure, I guess. I don't know. I think that's everybody that showed up.
That's it.
Okay.
All participants in the show and tell will receive an As Seen on Show and Tell sticker. If you're on the show and tell, make sure you email support@adafruit.com and you will get a As Seen on Show and Tell sticker. Lady Ada, how do people get on the weekly show and tell at 9:30 on Saturdays?
I'll tell them, but can you do that animation again first?
We'll do it later.
After?
Yes.
Okay. To get on the show and tell, it's super easy. We broadcast every Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All you have to do is go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/plus-Adafruit and find the post where you say, hey, comment here to be added to the show and tell circle. And make sure to ask us to add you more than an hour or two beforehand, because we have to add you and then we're busy setting up the show. We'll add you to the circle, and then you'll be able to show up that week or next week and show off your project. So yeah, do it now if you have a project you're working on.
All right, next up. Mailbag, see? You got that in there.
Oh, it's all the transitions.
No, it's not all of them, it's just some of them.
Just some of them.
Yeah, so mailbag's going to be a little bit different this week. The reason why is because people are sending cool photos of things that they're doing. So this was posted to our Flickr photo pool. These are our our NeoPixels.
Yeah,
and
triangularized.
Yeah, and Beth Scott did this, and this is the NeoPixels.
Yeah.
And then someone made a Tempduino. It's a temperature Arduino. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's using
and humidity too.
Yeah, using one of our LCDs as well. And then someone took the plushies. There's Mo, and made a Mo resistor calculator on Mo, and then the Ruby, the plushie.
Yeah, what's going on?
This actually lights up based on sound, and it lights up red.
Oh, weird.
So really neat stuff.
Okay.
So that's the mailbag for the week. Just a lot of cool stuff coming in. Next up, Zoom. This is the Adafruit Jobs board. Adafruit.com/jobs, the best place for makers to find other makers for projects.
And it's free.
Companies are finding awesome employees.
Also
People
for free.
with skills are posting their skills and finding jobs to pay
free
skills for the bills. All you need to do, we'd like if you're an Adafruit customer, but we review each one, headhunters and all sorts of
weird
stuff tries to get through. It won't. We read all of them.
Trust me, you'll never see one that's like, I can't believe my sister's cousin made $720 by posting on a website. We don't allow those. Only ones where they made $720 by programming an Arduino or making a CNC robot. So that's this week's.
This is a computer science robotics instructor Adafruit Jobs board. This is a high school, a college prep, is looking for a robotics instructor, which is kind of a cool job. So you have a little Adabot there. So that's the job board for this week.
Yay!
Next
jobs.
up, this is something that you sent to post. This is kind of a fun topic. So this is the counterfeit. Or the parts on eBay. Talk about this, Lady Ada.
This is really interesting because actually a lot of people, I always bring up the Maxim counterfeit parts as a really good example of really counterfeit parts. So Maxim, for some reason, well, probably because they're really expensive, their chips get to be counterfeited really often. They make awesome chips, but unfortunately, people make knockoff versions or something and then rebrand them. So this person has a Tindy or a Kickstarter or something. I don't exactly remember where it was posted. And they said, they wanted to get their project cost lower. And some people were like, oh, well, why don't you use these chips that you can get on eBay that are only $2 or half the price of what these Maxim chips cost. And they posted up and said, Mobile Will, he said, the thing is that those Maxim chips that you can get on eBay, they're all counterfeits, and so they all break or stop working very fast. And so we sell this chip in our store, and we sell it actually at it's genuine. We buy it direct from Maxim, and unfortunately they're a little expensive, but they are the real thing. So this is an unfortunate thing. So watch out buying stuff on eBay. There's a lot of counterfeit chips on there. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. Unfortunately, there's no way to know. And the problem is once you solder a counterfeit chip in, it's really hard to desolder it and replace it, so you can actually have ruined a circuit board. I've had experiences with counterfeit chips before, and sometimes you can tell physically by looking at it, and sometimes you can't.
Yeah. Next up, it's birthday week in some of the technology world. Intel launched the Pentium 20 years ago.
Wow.
This week. So
my first computer was like an Intel computer, was a Pentium 120.
Yeah. So they became the dominant chip maker.
Yeah.
You know, not to. They had a 486, and then they decided to call it Intel Pentium. So,
Some people called it the 586, but the brand name, I think the part number was 586, but then the brand name was Pentium.
So 20 years ago.
That's cool.
Other birthday, the first internet domain.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was? Do you know what it was?
Symbolics.
That's right. Very good. Turned 28.
Okay.
28 years old.
I didn't read that off the screen, but I didn't read the blog post.
Yeah. Interesting. Domain names have been around 28 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
I think, wasn't Symbolic, they were a Lisp machine manufacturer, weren't they?
There was some type of they built computer systems in Cambridge, Massachusetts, making workstations that ran on software language called Lisp.
Yeah, so they remember the building that they were in. I worked in another startup across the street out of college, and remember that people said, "Oh yeah, that's the old Symbolics." And I think after Symbolics, I think they either got bought out or they changed their name to Thinking Machines. I don't know. This is a history that unfortunately I'm not aware of. But I think now there's like a restaurant there.
All right.
North Cambridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if the cash registers in the restaurant run Lisp, but they're programmed with Lisp. Yeah. Next up. This week you were on the Google Science Fair. What did you talk about? Oh,
that's right. Yes, that was on
Friday.
Friday. That was really cool. This is the second time that I've done one of these Science Fair, Google Science Fair events. The last one wasn't a year ago, so they must be doing more than one a year. I think, right?
Yeah.
It was like 6 months ago or 4 months ago. Or less because it was when we had already moved in, so it must have been like 4 months ago. So yeah, we did a half-hour-long show, and it was really fun. We had, I think, a moderator and a winner of the science fair. They took questions live, just like we do on Ask Engineer, but it was open to anybody in Google+. And it was a hangout style thing, and we talked about electronics, about learning, about business, all sorts of entrepreneurship. All sorts of really cool stuff. I think it's been posted already to YouTube, so you can go watch it right now. There's also a lot of other really cool makers. They said they had
Dale, they had Anne-Marie from MakerEd, and
Tim O'Reilly also.
Yeah, so really cool series. You can find it on our blog, of course, adafruit.com/blog, and you can see the recordings. It's really neat. We have a really good setup, so the quality is great. You can interact with 4 or 5 people. You get questions from all of the different audiences, from the YouTube comments to the Google Plus page. Yeah. And it's kind of a continuation of what we do every week on the show and tell. So it was cool. It's pretty neat. Then next up, before we show this next video, I want to remind everyone the code is Puppets. 10% off everything in stock. And for store, we'll get to the Puppets soon. But 10% off everything in stock in the Adafruit store. It is a deal. We had some visitors not too long ago, the folks from TechCrunch, and they shot a really cool video with you. Yeah. And it was a tour through the Adafruit factory. So we wanted to play this video now. It's about 9 minutes long. It's a really good tour, and it's you and John Biggs. Yeah. And a lot of plushies. Yeah, a lot of plushies. So here it is. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm John Biggs, and this is TechCrunch Makers. Since I started this show, I've always wanted to come to a special place here in Manhattan. This is Adafruit Industries. This is sort of a Radio Shack on steroids, from plush resistors to real resistors. Let's go inside and take a look. So I'm here with Lamore Freed of Adafruit Industries. This is downtown Manhattan. This is your huge, huge headquarters. When I first met you guys basically had this thing in an apartment? Yeah, we had a live-work loft in downtown financial district. Now we have 12,000 square feet here in Soho, so we have a real factory in the old print district. All right, so let's take a look. Broken up music. We like this style. This is the shrine to all things Lady Ada, is that right? That's right. Sometimes I take on the Lady Ada avatar
and I act on her behalf. It's also where we store our plushies. We have these little adorable
As you would.
capacitor plushies. You know, we think that if kids are going to have like trains and sponges that can talk and have adventures, they should also have
resistors
capacitors and 555 timers and
resistors. There we go.
so you can kind
Beautiful.
of hang out with you. Little LEDs. This is Billy, the blue LED. She sings the blues.
And this
Yes,
is,
blue.
and the plan is that you guys are going to be animated soon. You guys
Yeah,
are
we're going to
dance
have
around?
an animated or a puppeteered show, and we have Adabot, which is the first puppet. So we had this made by a puppeteer at Sesame Street, Annie Fresh. Hi, I'm Adabot.
The point is that you're going to have a puppeteered show every week or every month, or how's it going to work?
I think we're going to do something every month.
Okay.
It depends on how Adabot's agent works out with us. We
Sure.
have to negotiate his contract. But hopefully it'll be a 10, 15-minute show on the web to start, and it'll be animated and puppeted, and I'll be there, and we'll talk about Circuit Playground, which is where stuff gets made. How
So
stuff's made.
what's Adafruit's mission? You guys are selling all kinds of crazy stuff that you wouldn't normally see it. You can't even find this stuff at Radio Shack anymore. Why are you doing this?
Well, one of the things that I really think about electronics is it's a modern art form. I think that just like, you probably took classes in painting and pottery, and you like to build stuff when you were a kid.
Basket weaving.
Basket weaving, which is also really fun. Now people can actually make art and use electronics as an art form to build stuff that they want to build. And that's where we're going, where kids these days are so comfortable with technology that it's become just something that they use as a technique, as a tool every day. And so we're trying to get engineering and electronics to all sorts of kids and older people too.
All right, so let's see how you make some of this stuff.
Okay.
So what's going on over here?
So over here we have the Pick and Place, which is a special kind of robot. Adabot is a plushy robot. This is it's a working robot.
This is still very huggable.
Yeah, you can hug it. He's very cute. This is sort of like the apartment-sized Pick and Place. And this is what makes every electronic device you own. Everything you've ever owned has a circuit board with components placed on top of it. And this is the robot that does the job. We have a small version. When you go to a big factory like Foxconn or Samsung, maybe 4 or 5 times as big and maybe 50 times as fast. But this does do the job. It picks up one component at a time, and it uses sensors and vision to place that part on the circuit board in the exact right location. We're here with Bacon, who's in charge of running the laser cutter. So this is a laser engraver cutter. It's made by Epilogue in Colorado, and it has a moving XY head with a high-powered laser in it, and it's safe because it's got this protective plastic over it, and it can cut through plastic, wood, leather. So a lot of times when we make a case or an enclosure, it works just like a printer. You send a file to it, it prints it out. So if we decide to change something, or a component is a different size, or we want to substitute, we can just upload a new file and it just changes it.
And you guys do QA right here as well?
That's right. We're going to go check out the QA right now. We are now here at one of the QC stations. So this is where boards that have been pick and placed come here. This is a board that's going to have an LCD on it. Every phone these days has a really nice big color display. It's great that these phones have them, but what if you want to build your own project that uses a display? Well, we can make a board that adapts those displays to something you can use in a breadboard with an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or an Mbed or any kind of microcontroller that you may have at home.
Okay.
So at this station we attach the display. This is the touchscreen display, and we solder it on and we clean it off, and then finally we take it to this test jig that we've made. So I'll press the display here and we'll go through a test. This test makes sure that the touchscreen works. I can make sure all the different colors show up properly. All right, let's walk through the warehouse.
Sure. This is like a magical wonderland of electronic delights.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff here. This is where we store all of the things while they're being weighted before they're shipped.
And what are these little guys over here?
Oh, so this is really fun. These are all of our badges. So we thought, when you join like the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, you get like a patch that says you know how to make a fire or shoot a bow and arrow. We thought it would be really cool if you had a badge that said you can program in Python, or you can set up a Linux computer.
Okay.
Or you can use an oscilloscope.
Now the homebrewing badge is probably not for the kids unless it's like root beer.
Root beer, you can
All right.
root beer. There's also biohacking. So a lot of people like to do cool stuff with
Sure. I eat a lot of nuts, so that's entirely
And then we have like HTML5. And this one is one of my favorites, the Tesla coil badge.
Okay.
Not a lot of people earn this badge, but I really like it because it's got the copper coil down here.
What are some of the, I guess, the methods for getting people interested in this socially, I suppose?
Well, we have a really big social network footprint. We have over 1 million people on Google+, and we share projects from the community. We have a forum. We have a blog. We post like 20 times a day. We're on Twitter. We're just getting people from all over the place, and they're sharing their projects. On Google+, we have a communities page for makers, hackers, artists. And what's really cool is that not only do we have people who are doing electronics hacking and programming, but also people who paint. And they're all posting up their projects and sharing what they do together, and it's not like, oh, that's not geeky enough or that's too geeky. Everybody's welcome.
This is stuff that used to be at Radio Shack that you can't get anymore.
Yes, these are all sorts of cool parts, like, 7-segment displays and LEDs, really
Tiny
bright
little
LEDs, buttons. People can have all sorts of inputs for their projects. They can customize it the way they want.
Okay. And you guys mentioned you were shipping nerds, and I know that our audience is probably interested on how to ship their stuff out finally.
Yeah.
So this is all homebrew equipment over here?
Yeah, so one of the things that we did when we first started, as I was doing all the shipping, and so I wanted to make sure that the shipping was as fast and efficient as possible. We have an all in-house designed shipping system. We ship UPS, which is, domestic and international, as well as postal service, which is a little bit less expensive, isn't as easily tracked. And every station we have 7 shipping stations. It has a label printer, and these are off-the-shelf label printers. We have a basic computer with a lot of USB ports because we've got all sorts of stuff plugged in, and a monitor with our software on it. We have a barcode scanner. It's really handy. We have almost every item in the store is barcoded, so this really helps with inventory control, make sure we're shipping off the right item, because they all look very similar when you get really small. We have a shipping scale, which makes sure that whatever we ship is the right weight.
And that's all connected to the shipping system.
Yeah, and it's all integrated. We use APIs from the Postal Service, from Indicia, and from USPS to make sure that we have the right quotes. We offer people exactly the right price so that they're not paying for shipping that they're not going to get. And then we can ship very fast. We can ship hundreds of orders out of here every day.
So now we've reached the end of our tour, I suppose. This is the shipping area where you guys are sending stuff out?
So this is where everything leaves, and so all of the wonderful kits are going to children around the world.
So yeah, during the tour I was attacked slowly but surely by these guys. What's next for you guys? What's next for Adafruit Industries?
Well, we've got all sorts of stuff planned. We're working on this show. We've got this great iPhone, iPad app that we're working on. Might be a game or something in the future that integrates all of these great characters.
Okay.
We're putting up tutorials every single week on the Learn system. We're just doing everything we can to get tutorials, build curriculum, get everybody out there making as much as possible. So hopefully we'll see some.
So is this an educational business, or is this like a resistor business?
I kind of think of this as we're a tutorial company with a gift shop at the end.
All right, perfect. And thank you very much, Lamore, for showing us around. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you for being a human breadboard.
I feel energized by all these. You so rarely get to be covered in small plush resistors these days, so it's really a treat. So, John Biggs with Tech Rich Makers, thanks for watching.
Say goodbye, Adabot.
Bye, Adabot.
All right.
Okay, we're back.
And that was the tour of Adafruit.
That is our tour.
Yeah.
You got to see everything.
Yeah. A lot of stuff is going to be changing soon because we're getting in a lot of new equipment, and we'll have a future show about that. And we're hopefully getting even more space because we're growing very fast.
Even though look at all the space here, but this is the receiving area. So this area actually gets quite busy when we get shipments in. This is where we stage it while we unpack the boxes. So
yeah.
Looks like we have a lot of space, but actually we fill it up quite easily.
All right, moving right along.
Yes.
Adafruit Learning System.
That's us.
Yeah, some new stuff. Can you talk about the things that went in this week?
Yeah, I wrote a little tutorial last Sunday. I had a bagel, and I just felt like I was doing a tutorial. So I think you're watching Terminator 2. I wrote a little tutorial because I've watched Terminator 2 a couple times. This is a tutorial on how to... if you have a device that's already in one of the default libraries that comes with EagleCAD, like this part, this is a 4093. It's a quad, NAND, Schmidt trigger, gate, and it comes in a couple different packages, and the library that comes with EcoCAD had it in DIP and SOIC, but it didn't have it in SOP. And the package I was going to use was going to be the SOP package, so I decided to show a tutorial about how I very quickly made a new package for this part, and this is much faster than making a whole new part from scratch, because you get to merge a package from one library and the symbol from another to make a new device. And I just try to do that, make a new library, and I added in a couple tips and tricks, like how to, quickly change all SMD packages, and how to check to make sure that you have the right pinout, and copy the pinout quickly. So you can do this in half an hour, much faster than drawing a full, whole new thing.
Yeah.
I try to avoid, unless it's a very new device, I try to avoid making a whole new package, the layout with the pads, because it's really easy to make a mistake with spacing and sizing, and most packages are SOIC, SOP, DIP. They're a standard package. So check out the tutorial. I'll try to put up some more tutorials as I do more EagleCAD stuff.
Okay, and then this one.
We also had a tutorial. I thought we posted this, but I guess not. This is a tutorial on our compass module.
Yeah.
So what's really nice about this tutorial that Bill Earl did is not only do we show how to wire up and use the compass module, but he also shows you how to use free IMU code to calibrate it. Because one of the issues with compass modules is actually it's not a compass module, it's a magnetometer. I don't know if there's really such a thing as a compass module. Instead, what it does is it'll measure magnetic fields from 3D. And so what you have to do is then figure out where is north based on the strength of that signal, but you actually don't know the north measurement. So instead, what you have to do is figure out how strong is it in what vector, dimension, etc., math. And so you might have to calibrate it to find max ranges, because the XYZ ranges will vary. And anyway, so we did a little write-up on this, and so it's a powerful way to use your magnetometer. Check it out. I really like this sensor, the LSM303.
Okay, and then next up, new guy just went live. This is the Arduino selection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what is this?
all right. Well, it did go live today before the show. This is another Bill Earl tutorial. He really he did a really good job on this one. He does tech support in the forums and customer support in the forums for people. And a common question is, there's so many Arduinos and Arduino derivatives. Which is the right one for me? We got an Arduino Uno. We have a Micro. We have a Boarduino. We have a Flora. We have the Mega. We have the Mega ADK. We have Arduino Ethernet. I mean, there's we don't even carry every single Arduino derivative. There's hundreds. We carry a dozen. And so he did a really nice write-up sort of explaining what are the differences when you want to pick which one, and our suggestions for what to start with, and then your upgrade path from there.
Yeah, and let's actually hop over to the learning system real quick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're here, and I just wanted to just do a little recap, because the screen sharing stuff is working
much better.
Pretty well now, I think.
Well, we're about to do an update for this too.
Yeah, there's about to be a new update for the learning system.
It'll be even better. How is that possible? I don't know.
Yeah, we have some amazing tutorials. Here's the Arduino selection guide. You can see as you're reading about them, we have them all down the side if you want to pick one up. And then we talk about all the different projects and all the different things you can do. So getting started, all the different packs, all the different things, which one. You can award yourself a badge if you get through this.
I like this little ziggurat here.
Yeah, and the difference between all the different ones. We have this nice little rollover feature, so you can see all the different Arduinos, specific features you might need, more memory, more speed, and then some application, like what you might actually do with it. This is a Flora project with Colin, and all the different sizes. And also, you might want, something like a wearable one. You might want something that fits in a tin. So this is a
breadboard,
breadboard and then at the end, really cool chart.
A chart.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he did it all. He did sizes, memory.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, and
power input.
Yeah, and then last up, the learning system is in a really solid place. We're really happy with it. We have a couple of big updates coming soon, but look at all these tutorials. It could take days and days and days to get.
Weeks.
All these, yeah.
We have a whole bunch moderated that we have to do. Maybe I'll write another tutorial tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's get back here.
Okay.
All right.
Back.
Whoops.
Wait.
Yeah.
Two of us.
And
okay,
we're
great.
Back. So that was the learning system.
Okay.
Next up, we've got Time Travel Tuesday. We're getting through the days of the week here.
Okay.
All right, so for Time Travel Tuesday, there are a few things. In 1937, H.P. Lovecraft, the beloved weirdo sci-fi writer, countless horror flicks and metal bands, died 75 years ago last Friday.
No.
Yeah. Next up,
He was eaten by a squid.
1752, Mary Dixon Keyes, I believe this is the pronunciation, the first woman to receive a U.S. patent.
On straw hats.
Unfortunately, she died penniless in Brooklyn in 1837. That's a bummer. Next up, 1474, the Venetian patent law declared each person will make this city new and ingenious, not made heretofore in our dominion, as soon as it reduced to perfection, it being forbidden to any other territory. So basically, it was trying to attract new businesses to the city. So that was the Venetian patent law.
So they basically they came up with the idea of a patent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they said invention, which is new and perfected, can be they will legally protect it.
And the law spread really fast. England and France quickly followed suit, and the rest afterwards, nearly all of Europe with some sort of patent law was enacted.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, right? Because there's the idea that you can legally protect an invention is not obvious.
Yeah.
Not at all. So.
Next up, we've got Wearable Wednesday. Got a lot of stuff going on with Wearable Wednesday right now.
Okay.
So for Wearable Wednesday, I have a video, an animated GIF, a couple projects, and then Becky did a big kind of roundup of the exciting age of wearable electronics. So the first project is someone did a cool game for the Times Square Watch.
I saw.
I wanted to play that.
All right, let's play it.
Okay, and then next up, this is a really cool project. This uses the NeoPixels.
Fluorapixels.
Oh, sorry, the Fluorapixels. Yeah, so that's kind of neat. That was.
I just like this animated GIF.
Yeah, I just watch this all day. And then next up, this was kind of a neat project. It's an embroidered Arduino in clothing, and then it lights up too. It's kind of fun. This is like an Arduino looking embroidery.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's cool. And then Becky has a giant article that has
it's so long.
Yeah, a series of milestones and wearables, and then also look back and also current state, and then looking forward.
Yeah.
So check out the article. Let me get rid of us here.
Okay.
Exciting age of wearable electronics. And the things that are in there, Becky starts out, she had a leg brace and she EL wired it. There's a really old photo of you and an old photo of me separately. We were both doing weird stuff with wearables. To the modern age, where Google Glass is starting to come out, some mixed reactions to it. It's always one of those things where if there's a product that I personally like that I like, not something that I think is great for DIY and community and humanity. When there's a product that I personally like, I know there's not a lot of people for it. No, it's true. It's true. Like I had a whole giant collection of crazy wristwatches, like computers that fit on your wrist. You know? And I did a series on Engadget. Watch this Wednesday. Yeah. And I always knew that I was like one of 2,000 people in the world that really is okay with wearing like a giant computer on a wrist. Mm-hmm. But I think with Google Glass, there are some people that are going to be really interested in it. It'd be really exciting if Google positions it in a way that shows that this could be a cool tool. I mean, I think they're going to probably put a lot of effort behind it. It does remind me of something though, for those out there. So Bill Gates really liked information appliances, so Spotwatch technology. It was his pet project. They dumped a bunch of money in it.
This is like the Pebble before the Pebble.
It uses.
But it uses FM.
Yeah, it was only one way. It received FM, but it turned it to text, and
it's like a pager watch.
Yeah, it was a pager watch, but it did a lot of like data stuff. That was his pet project. He was really excited about. They never got beyond just the straight up geek market, and I had all the Spot watches. I was like 1% or 5% of the market share.
Yeah.
So I think Google Glass, they have to do that. They have to find really cool people do exciting stuff with it that people can relate to. And it also so far, the people that you've seen using it, it's just been I think Sergey running around. So he's just like a guy. Like have other people, have kids, have women, have other people using it. Artists, just
musicians.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting thing.
Yeah. I mean, like I like installing Linux on stuff probably more than the average person, but it's also good to get people who are not. I mean, everyone has a cell phone.
Yeah.
Right. So
this is a tour of all the stuff, our wearable things. We have wearable electronics. We have our products, and then also how they're starting to hit celebrities, from will.i.am to all sorts of different. If you're a rock star in any way, you're probably wearing something that's lighting up, blinking, because it's the next frontier. Here's these beautiful video jackets. This is something that we're going to be working on with Flora, all the way to mustache technology.
Yes.
So check it out. It's a great article. Becky did
I love
a great
this
job.
mustache.
Yeah. Except 3D Thursday.
If you're going to grow a mustache, you should have accoutrements, accessories.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Right. Next, 3D Thursday. This is kind of neat. You played Portal before.
Yeah.
Someone made this like 3D printed.
Oh, I really want this.
Yeah, look at this thing. Look at all they just printed out the whole thing.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, that's really neat. So that's the Portal ceiling mounted gun thing. Yeah, this is the Visa mount that goes on the back of the TV, and this is the case we saw.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, so you can print that out, and it's not quite Pi Day, but it's almost in that Pi Day category. And then MakerBot released their files on Thingiverse.
Yes, this is really cool.
Yeah.
So, wait, did we talk about these last week, or is this
No,
this week?
this is this week, yeah.
So last week we announced that we did a really cool partnership with MakerBot where we ran out, so unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we had, and hopefully we'll get more soon, MakerBot Replicator 2s.
Yeah.
These are fully assembled replicators, and we wanted to not just have a 3D printer any 3D printer you could get from there. So what we did is we bundled it with 3 kits and products that we thought would be a really good complement to MakerBot. So we included a Minty Boost kit, a Times Square watch kit, and a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
And so you get these 3 things together, and we have, of course, free shipping in the United States, and so I think everyone got free shipping because they were all in the US. And the cool thing is that we also put on Thingiverse 3 projects that you could 3D print. So there was a Raspberry Pi control center, a cool sort of rounded pocket watch style case for the Times Square, and then a funky roller blind style Minty Boost enclosure. And also this week MakerBot released their mod, so they also made 3 really cool enclosures, and all of them are kind of neat because they have bicolor printing, and they're really ingenious. And so now you have 6 projects. So there's this Times Square desk holder, I think I don't. It's kind of cool. It's got sharp edges. A Minty Boost holder which has a side thing going on, and a bicolor Raspberry Pi case that snaps together with it has one color that's for the case, and then these wraparound snap holder things. So anyways, this is really neat, and if you're one of the people who picked up one of our packs, please print them out and let us know how they go. I don't know if did we print out any? Should I grab any of these?
We're printing out the new ones now.
Okay.
But today we went to the MakerBot store, and there is an Adafruit little case with all of our kits. You can buy the kits, and you can get any of the things that we ship with the Adafruit edition of MakerBots. And here is these neat little.
Wait, was that some fruit?
Yeah, because it's Adafruit, right? Get it? Okay.
Okay.
So, anyways.
There's a Raspberry Pi covered with bananas.
All right.
Yeah, I like the stripe in the middle. This is cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Pi Day, Raspberry Pis, we have some stuff from Pi Day. Oh, by the way, we're going to have more MakerBot Adafruit editions soon. Sign up if you want to get one. It's an awesome deal. It's a little bit too good of a deal, but get one. Sign up.
We do have another shipment.
This is an experiment for us. Yeah, we're going to have a few more soon. And you get all the kits, and and you get the custom plate, which is really neat, and you don't have to wait 4 weeks. Yeah. Next up, so Pi Day. This is kind of neat. Someone made a clock using all the Adafruit stuff. This is a really neat project with a big button. And this is it's a science project. It was a reaction time. So the LED would light up, and then you had to slam the button down. Yeah. And so it was a reaction time tester. Yeah. Science project. And then the last one. This isn't a Pi project at all. not really, but what this is one of the first photos from the Raspberry Pi camera.
Yes.
And as soon as the Pi camera is available and we can buy it, we'll have it in our store.
You can tell it's England because it's sort of
it looks
cloudy
it looks
and
like
rainy.
England, yeah. It's funny that you could just actually tell it looks like England.
Yeah.
So that was Pi Day. And every week on the blog, on Friday, we have tons of posts about Raspberry Pi stuff. And do check it out.
Yeah.
So next up, before we get on to new products, I just want to let everybody know the code is Puppets, and 10% off everything in stock in the Adafruit store. And
Okay.
it's now new product time.
New products.
Yeah.
New products. We have them.
Yeah.
Well, new products.
Yeah. Well, there is one thing. So this is a photo. This is in sunlight. You want to talk about what this is?
Yeah, this is the
updated product.
This is well, we were supposed to have this last week, but I didn't get around to it. This is a photo of the Pixel Key display that we put in the store, and we talked about last week. It's a 10-inch color transflective / TFT display. So it's color indoors, and outdoors it becomes grayscale, sort of e-paper. You can read it in bright daylight, and so it's really handy as a display that it's also much lower power. You can turn the backlight off, so it's a daylight readable display. And so this shows it. We put it in front of the window and took a photo, and it's actually a pretty good photo, so you can see how it's a very crisp monochrome display. So I can't wait to see what people do with these Pixel Key displays. We show it with our Raspberry Pi, but the driver can do VGA, HDMI, or composite, so you can actually use it with nearly any computer or microcontroller.
And next up, we have a bunch of new products coming in. This week coming up, we'll have a bunch of stuff. But this week, we just have like one new product.
We have one, but it's cool. It's a fun kit. This is a new kit from Spickenzie Labs. We carry the Time Square Watch from them, and this is a little calculator kit. And it's a really neat kit, and it's got these cool little floaty buttons, which I can show on the overhead.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention, like, this is one of our favorite kits that, we like making our own kits, but we like working with
I like it
kit
when other
makers.
people make kits, and I sell them too.
Yeah, this is a really fun kit. So we'll go to the overhead now.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can get it to... it's a little dark, but it's okay because you can see the LEDs. So yeah, there's these buttons that they're acrylic and they kind of float, so they have a nice buttony feel, and you can press them and they click nicely.
Yeah.
And
buttons are laser cut.
The buttons are laser cut and engraved. I'm not exactly sure the process, but I think they're glued onto like a captive piece, probably using a jig. It runs on a battery, has a nice 6-digit display. There's an Arduino-Compatible microcontroller inside of here, and if you want to reprogram it, there's a FTDI compatible port over here that you can use.
Port, yeah. This is cool because you can build your own calculator. Like if you want to roll in with the coolest calculator, this one is it.
Yes.
You can make it yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
So I really like this kit, and it has these nice bumpers even, and I like it because all the other calculators we have here are LCD, and so they're hard to read sometimes. But this is a really bright, clear display. Nice big red buttons.
Yeah.
Red LEDs and very nice buttons as well.
This is a great photo.
And John Jr. did an excellent photo
This
job.
is a great photo that John took.
Yeah. Let's just look at this. Look at these photos.
Yeah.
Zoom. And next week we'll have a whole bunch of stuff. We had such an exciting week this week with visitors and events and all the new people who started that we decided to take a pause on the new products. Don't you worry, I have some really cool stuff coming in real soon.
And that is new products for the week.
Yay!
All right, we're gonna jump right into it's not out yet. Don't ask.
No way.
It's not out yet. Don't ask, Lady Ada.
Okay.
Well, you can ask. You're here. All right. First up, this was a photo from today.
The question is, can people recognize who it is?
This was a photo from today. This is Colin, and we're doing stuff here at Adafruit.
He looks so morose.
We can't. Don't ask what this is, but anyways, we're working on stuff. Next up, Lady Ada, you can talk about this.
We're going all steampunk.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a little photo that you posted up. So I'm trying out a whole bunch of cool Peltier thermoelectric modules. These are modules that when you put 12 or 5 volts across them, they heat up one side and cool the other side, and we're getting them in assemblies so the heatsink and fan is attached. And I was comparing 2 different modules and heat sinks, and one got to negative 6.5 degrees centigrade, and one only got to like 4 degrees centigrade. So we're gonna go with the one that goes to -6 because that's awesome because you can actually make ice.
Yeah.
And we're also going to get a 501.
Cool. It's the only time you're supposed to say cool. Cool.
Hot.
Yeah.
Voltage difference.
Yeah. So that's coming up. Next up, and I want to show. I'm going to put this over here first.
Really, I'm going to move over here.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but I'm going to show this.
Oh, you want to do it this way?
Well, I'm just going to show what's going on over here. So this is part of it's not out yet, don't ask, but we are working on some new exciting things at Adafruit. And I didn't
Do you want me to change the
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I did want to just quickly show all of these over here. So this is these are all of our puppets. This is the Circuit Playground gang, and when they talk,
it's the
let's see,
Hans.
we've got Hans, and then we've got this was the one at the beginning of the show. This is Cappy, and Cappy talks, and we don't have batteries for all of them right now, but the legs.
No, we don't carry 9 volts.
Yeah, and the legs are bendy. You can bend them.
Carefully.
And, yeah, and let's see, this is Hans. So this is all the stuff we're working on. These are live action puppets. We also have
these were beautifully made.
Yeah, by Annie Fresh, and this is Puppet Central over here. So I'm gonna
Puppet Central.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the main here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab Cappy because Cappy's kind of a fun one.
Can I grab Hans?
Yeah, you can grab Hans, and if you want, you can grab another one.
Yeah,
so,
the Hans lights up.
Yeah, so this is Cappy, and if you go to adafruit.com/Cappy, and you know I can move me on, and it's kind of fun because you know as I'm talking I can have them talk. And one of the things that we wanted to do is have electric puppets, so they can sing in the dark and you can see them. This is part of our new kids show called Circuit Playground. And Adabot, who folks have seen before, and I'll grab Adabot right now. And here, you can start taking these if you want to get each one. You can bring them over to the. Yeah, and so Adabot is also here, and no, Adabot can talk. And these are all. This is a Circuit Playground game, and one of the things that we want to do is get kids at a young age interested in electronics. And so because there's like a SpongeBob and because there's lots of different characters, no one's ever come up with characters that were electronics. Kids love iPhones and Android tablets and Android phones and all sorts of gadgets, but you know, they're all filled with LEDs and resistors and capacitors. Yeah. And so we wanted to have something that we could use as teaching tools.
Oh, you want to grab the LEDs because they're
yeah. And we'll grab all 3 of these.
And I only have two 9-volt batteries. I have like AAA and AA battery holders.
So these were made by Annie Fresh, and she works on Sesame Street. So these were made by someone who actually makes Muppets for a living.
Yeah, it's cool. Like in New York, you can actually get like Muppeteers to make a project for you. Wait, hold on.
And so we have plushie versions of all these right now.
Sorry, I'm figuring out how this works.
Yeah, I'll take Billy. So Billy is actually my favorite one. So she's blue, and Billy sings the blues, and she's named after Billie Holiday. And so she'll sing songs about LEDs and how maybe sometimes it's tough being a blue LED. Or
it's really hard being a blue LED because you have the highest forward voltage.
Yeah, so she'll sing songs about that. And we want to do probably an episode, hopefully per week, coming up soon. But right now it'll probably be once every couple weeks or maybe once a month. And it'll teach electronics in a very fun way. And there'll be songs, there'll be activities to do. And we think this is just one of the many strategies out there to get kids really excited about electronics. This is Gus. Gus sounds like Richard Feynman. He has a thick Brooklyn accent. And he also likes talking about physics and things like that.
Okay, I have to take puppeteering classes now.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about these, they're 3D printed on the inside.
Yeah.
And this is laser cut with our laser cutter. So we'll be posting up the files if other people want to make their own
these are really
puppets
nice.
as well. But we'll see. We have a set that we're building, and eventually we're going to probably move Ask an Engineer to middle of the week, and then Circuit Playground, the kids show, it's going to be short because kids are busy. They got a lot of things going on in their lives.
Yeah.
But it'll be a short segment that teaches a concept. So the first one is going to be amperage. A is for
Ampere.
Ampere, and that goes along with our coloring book. And then Mo and Connie.
This one's heavy.
Yeah, they're all
This is pretty dense.
very sturdy. They're very sturdy Muppets. So this is Mo, and then this is Connie. You can see them all. They're very cool. So
Alright.
we're working on all the voices and all the things, and this is our
Maybe I'll put them back.
yeah, this is our puppet collection.
We have to put them in the holders.
Yeah, they have their own little. Well, you can just put that for now. And then last up, this is another. It's not out yet. Don't ask. We're experimenting with some really high-end printing, and this was it's a breadboard pillow. This isn't exactly the right size yet, but it's a pillow that's a breadboard. That'll go along with the plushies, not the puppets. But we will have a nice big breadboard for them too. So that is the.
Not out yet.
It's not out yet.
So don't ask.
Don't ask, but it is on its way. So that's why the
puppets.
code tonight is puppets.
Yay!
All right. So with that being said, it is now time for all you folks out there to ask your questions. So, ask Lady Ada.
They will be answered.
Engineering questions
By a puppet.
by a green LED.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually blow myself for this second.
Okay, I want a combo gauge for my vintage car. Display needs to be big and easy to read and bright light. What's the best choice? Candy bar LED, VFD, or OLED?
OLEDs are one of the easiest to read in bright light. They have extremely high contrast. So OLED's definitely a good way to go. LEDs can be bright, but the contrast isn't often that good unless you put a diffuser in front. So I think OLED, if you can get an OLED that works out for
Okay.
you.
What was your first laptop? I think mine was like a Texas Instruments, which is considered a laptop. Yeah, maybe a TI something.
It was a Mac. It was a Mac with a grayscale screen. It was like one of the PowerBooks.
Oh yeah, like a PowerBook 130 or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little trackball in the center.
It wasn't one with a trackball.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Moving right along here.
I don't remember.
Is there a new BeagleBone coming out? Yes, sign up.
It is.
Sign up.
It's very exciting. The new BeagleBone is going to be available in a couple of weeks. I don't remember the exact date. You can sign up on our site. It will have extra stuff compared to the BeagleBone. It will have HDMI video output. It will have, I think, a little bit more memory, although I can't remember the exact specs. It's the same processor, same power requirements for the most part, and same pinout. So if you have a project that uses a BeagleBone, you will be able to upgrade it to the BeagleBone Black.
And replace me now with the
Okay,
last
that's
time
fine.
here. Yeah. So next up, let's answer these really fast.
Hello, Hans.
Where's the best place to find funding for promising projects? Let's see. There's Tindy, Indiegogo, Kickstarter.
Your friends.
Your friends' family. All those places are pretty good. A lot of folks have a lot of opinions about which one's best. Each one has different constraints, and each one has different requirements. Check them out. Look around. Ask people who got successful funding. Next up. Why is OLED so expensive?
OLEDs are expensive because it's a new process, so it's not as common as TFT or LCD. It's fairly new. It's only maybe 10 years old, and only recently have they gotten to be stable enough that they can be used in products. I expect that OLED prices will drop quite a bit soon, but yeah, until they do, they are a little bit cheaper than VFDs though. So for comparatively, they're more expensive than LCDs. But again, they have much higher contrast, they look really great, and they're much lower power than VFDs, and they're cheaper and also much thinner. Another nice thing about OLEDs is they have a 180-degree vision. I mean, you can see them like all the way in any direction, which is not always true of LCDs. And VFDs are a little bit visible, but they're very pixely.
Yeah. We can probably just remove us here.
Okay.
So we can just have the puppets do the rest of the show.
Okay. Wait, I can't get far enough. All right, there you go.
Yeah. So we can have the puppets do the rest of the show. So next up.
Okay.
Let's see what the next question is.
can't really get far enough.
Yeah, this table's pretty big.
Next question, please.
Yeah, what's the best way to attach leads to a flat metal contacts without solder? Wi-Fi or Arduino car? That's the guy.
You kind of need to use solder.
Okay. Next up, any shields for the Arduino Due on the way?
I think you can use a Mega Proto Shield for a Due. I believe that there's no...
That's ridiculous. Let's get back in the
What?
Let's get back in the screen.
What?
Okay.
I'm answering the question.
Come on, get back over.
You can...
Yeah.
All right, fine. You can. I know that you can use like our I2C based shields. So the LCD button shield should just work out of the box because it's completely I2C based. Although not all core libraries have been ported to the Due. I think they only ported over the Wire I2C library recently. So that's actually what's going to hurt you more than hardware compatibilities.
Okay. Any plans on an Arduino Due variant that breaks out all the peripherals?
You know, I don't know. I didn't design the Due, and I didn't actually even have any preview or discussion about it. I wasn't part of that process. If you have a suggestion for something you want to see in the next version of the Due, you should go to arduino.cc, and they have a forum that you can post up in if you have some ideas. It's the best place to go if you want to make suggestions for official Arduinos. We don't have any plans of making.
When do you expect the Pi camera? We're waiting for them.
We don't design the Pi camera. It's up to the Pi team for when they're ready to distribute it.
And then next up, any e-ink displays in the works? Yes, we're working on it.
Yes, indeed. Oh boy, you're gonna be happy.
The green LED is excited about that. What's is it possible to scroll text on a display or an LED matrix? Can you explain it in one sentence? I guess you could just keep talking, and that's technically one sentence. But.
Yeah, if I use commas.
Yeah.
Our code for LED matrices does support scrolling because we use the graphics library that we wrote like a year, 2 years ago, and that has support for like you can address memory outside of the display and it'll just scroll around it. So yeah, all of our LED matrices that extend the GFX library, which I believe is all of them, support scrolling.
Yeah. What version of Linux do you like best? Right now, I like Occidentalist because it's the one that we made for Raspberry Pi that works with all the peripherals. We'll be updating soon. Do you have a favorite Linux besides that one?
I like that one a lot.
You like Occidentalist?
I don't.
Yeah, you made it for you, so I guess you will like it.
I actually like BSD a lot. I used to I used to like FreeBSD. Okay. But unfortunately, right now, like I do stuff on Raspberry Pi, and you know everyone's really familiar with. Even though I think that they are working on getting BSD working on it, everyone kind of uses Debian. So. Yeah.
What does Arduino-Compatible mean on the Flora page?
Oh, that means that it uses the same chipset as the Arduino Leonardo or Micro, and so you can use the Arduino IDE to interface with peripherals, LEDs, buttons, and such. It also means that all the Flora accessories are Arduino compatible, which means that any code that we have written for the Flora will also work on a Leonardo or Micro Arduino. You just have to use wires instead of sewing the pins on or the modules, like use clips or whatever. So basically, it means that it is compatible with an existing Arduino variant, and you can use the IDE.
All right, and here's Mo. So Mo's one of the ones that we think we've kind of figured out the voice for him. So Mo's voice is more like Keanu Reeves' Point Break.
What?
Yeah, like whoa, like totally cool, whoa. So that's one of the ones. So all right.
I think I should be allowed to answer questions as an LED.
Yeah. Okay. You can answer the questions later on.
Yeah.
That's it with the questions. We're going to do a trivia question now.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Okay. The prize today is.
We're going to give away the calculator.
Calculator kit! Yay! Right. Wait, hold on. Yay!
All right, that's a good prize.
Yeah, it's a really good prize because it's the only new product we have. If you've entered and won a fabulous prize, please don't enter again. Please go hang out with some LEDs and treat them nicely. Instead of entering this contest, we want everybody to win a fabulous prize. The first person to answer our question correctly with spelling, which counts, gets the prize. So, what is the question?
Ready? Who is the first woman to receive a patent? We went over this on Time Travel Tuesday.
Listening? Were you listening? Were you listening? The answer is not green LED.
Yeah. let's see who got it right. They're putting it in the chat. I'm gonna look in a second. And I have to find my time travel Tuesday post. And I think the first person to get it spelled right is I have to look for the right spelling.
Forever.
It's right here. I think Mac Rutan. No? Wishing Forever. Wishing Forever. Congratulations, Wishing Forever.
You wished for a calculator
It's Mary
kit?
Keys, yeah.
You get a key.
IES is what we were waiting for. So, thank you. Wishing Forever. Congratulations.
You win a calculator kit.
Yeah, it was not
full of LEDs.
It was not David Hasselhoff. So, Wishing Forever,
but
please.
wouldn't it be great if it was?
Yeah, please email support@adafruit.com and you will get your kit.
Yay!
Email us your mailing address and we'll send it off in your name. And with that, we do need to do one thing. We have a little mini, I think people were worried what happened to MOSFET because we were just showing still photos. So we have a video of MOSFET.
He's just really lazy.
Yeah, so here he is. And
hello, everybody.
there's MOSFET.
Hi, MOSFET the
He's
cat.
still alive. Everything's okay.
But just as peeved.
Yeah. So there he is. Everything's okay. MOSFET's fine.
Hello,
so with that,
everybody.
Big week. Great show.
Yeah.
Lots of puppets. Lots of things ahead. We're kind of embarking on a new thing that we think is going to be interesting.
Yes.
As this comes out, we're going to ask everybody for your help because we really want to see kids and parents and everybody get excited about electronics, and maybe this is just one of the ways. Everybody out there in the maker world is working hard on getting kids excited about electronics, and the trick is it's not really just for kids. It's kind of like the Muppet Show just wasn't for kids; it was for adults. And
I love watching.
Yeah.
I still love watching the Muppet Show.
And who doesn't like talking components? So that's it. And with that,
watch out if your components start talking to you. It means it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Unless they're these components.
Yeah. So with that, we'll see everybody next week. Here is your moment of Zener.